Inflation is a silent war. It does not carry a gun. It does not drop bombs. It does not send soldiers to your door. But it walks into your home every single day. It sits at your kitchen table. It eats your savings. It raises your rent. It makes your salary smaller without touching a single number on your paycheck. In Germany, in 1923, a loaf of bread cost 250 marks in January. By November, that same loaf cost 200 trillion marks. People pushed wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy groceries. In Zimbabwe, in 2008, the government printed a $100 trillion banknote, and it still could not pay for a single bus ticket. In Sri Lanka, in 2022, inflation hit 70%. The president had to flee the country. In Pakistan, in 2023, inflation hit nearly 38%, the highest since records began. These are not accidents. These are not bad luck. These are patterns. And every single one of them starts the same way. This is how inflation destroys nations, without a single bullet. Welcome to the Epoch Economics, where money, power, and history come together. Part 1. What is inflation? What actually is inflation? Here is the simplest way to explain it. Imagine you have 100 rupees. Today, you can buy 10 eggs. Next year, those same 10 eggs cost 150 rupees. Your money did not disappear, but its power got weaker. Now multiply that across rice, bread, medicine, school fees, rent, petrol. Everything is getting expensive at the same time. Your income stays the same. So every month you are secretly getting poorer. This is why economists call inflation the silent tax. You never vote for it. No one asks your permission. But it takes money from your pocket every single day. Where does it come from? 3 causes. 1. Too much money chasing too few goods. When a government prints new money but production does not grow, prices rise. 2. Government debt out of control. When governments borrow too much, they print money to pay bills. More money weakens every note in circulation. 3. Loss of trust. When people stop believing their currency has value, they spend it fast. That rush itself pushes prices even higher. A spiral that feeds itself. Now you understand the machine. Let's see it destroy countries one by one. Part 2. Weimar Germany. The year is 1918. World War I has just ended. Germany has lost. The winning countries gave Germany a bill, 132 billion gold marks, over $500 billion in today's money. Germany did not have it. So the government started printing money. January 1921, $1 was worth 60 German marks. By November 1923, $1 was worth 4.2 trillion marks. A loaf of bread went from 250 marks to 200 trillion marks in less than 1 year. People needed wheelbarrows of cash just to buy groceries. Some people burned banknotes because firewood cost more than the money itself. Families who had saved their whole lives, their savings became worthless almost overnight. Who suffered most? The poor and working class who earned wages and had no assets to protect them. Who survived? People who owned land, factories, gold. Inflation actually wiped out their debts because they repaid loans with worthless money. And when it was all over, the trust in government was shattered. A destroyed middle class, a furious population. Historians argue this broken trust later helped a man named Adolf Hitler rise to power. Inflation did not just destroy money, it destroyed a society, without a single bullet. Part 3. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was once called the breadbasket of Africa. It grew so much food it exported to other nations. By 2008, it was printing a $100 trillion note. And that note could not buy a loaf of bread. The government took farmland from experienced farmers and gave it to people with no farming background. Crops collapsed. Less food meant higher prices. The government's response? Print more money. Prices went higher. Print more. Higher still. By November 2008, monthly inflation hit 79.6 billion% per month. Not per year. Per month. Workers were paid in the morning and rushed to spend by lunchtime because by afternoon the money was worth less. Hospitals ran out of medicine. Schools could not pay teachers. Businesses stopped accepting Zimbabwean dollars altogether. Finally, in 2009, Zimbabwe officially abandoned its own currency. The government admitted, "Our money is worthless. Please use someone else's." The lesson? Once you start printing money to solve a problem, stopping it becomes nearly impossible without pain. Zimbabwe kept printing until the collapse was total. Part 4. The Ottoman Empire. Germany collapsed in years. Zimbabwe collapsed in years. But the Ottoman Empire, one of the greatest empires in history, was destroyed over centuries. Their currency was the aksi, a small silver coin. When war costs grew too big, rulers debased it. They reduced the silver in each coin, same number stamped on it, less real value inside. In 1586, a major debasement caused sharp inflation across the empire. The famous Janissary soldiers paid in ACC saw their real wages fall. Angry soldiers revolted. The cycle continued for centuries. Wars needed money, money was debased, inflation rose, soldiers mutinied, more instability, more wars, more printing. By the 20th century, the once mighty Ottoman Empire was called the sick man of Europe. Currency destruction was not the only cause, but it made everything weaker. The Ottoman lesson. You do not have to collapse fast to collapse completely. Part 5, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, Pakistan, 2023. Inflation hit 37.97%, the highest in recorded history. A family spending 10,000 rupees on groceries in 2022 was spending 13,800 rupees for the same food in 2023. The rupee fell 28.6% against the dollar. Imported fuel, medicine, cooking oil, all became dramatically more expensive. Pakistan had borrowed heavily for decades. When reserves ran out and the rupee crashed, ordinary families paid the price. Millions were pushed into food insecurity. Families dropped from 3 meals a day to 2, then to 1. People with land, dollars, or export businesses, they were largely protected. The poor absorbed the damage. Sri Lanka, 2022. Inflation hit 70%. The rupee lost nearly 80% of its value in 1 year. The economy shrank 11%, while prices rose 70%. Hospitals ran out of medicine. Power cuts lasted 13 hours a day. People stood in line for hours just to get cooking gas. Why? The government borrowed for big projects that did not earn back. Tax cuts in 2019 slashed revenue. COVID killed tourism. Chemical fertilizers were banned overnight, harvests collapsed. And the rupee was kept artificially strong until it crashed all at once. Then something remarkable happened. Hundreds of thousands of people went to the streets. They stormed the presidential palace. The president fled the country. History shows, when inflation destroys ordinary lives badly enough, people fight back. Not with armies, with their feet. Part 6, How Inflation Destroys. Every story, Germany, Zimbabwe, Ottoman Empire, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, follows the same engine. Step 1. Government spends more than it earns. Wars, corruption, big projects. Whatever the reason, spending exceeds income. Step 2. Borrowing reaches its limit. Lenders say no. Interest becomes unmanageable. Step 3. The printing press starts. New money enters the system without new goods behind it. Step 4. Prices rise. People notice and spend faster. Wages chase prices but never catch them. Trust in the currency falls. People switch to gold, land, foreign currency. Step 5. Government tries fixes that make it worse. Price controls create shortages. Wage freezes cause protests. More subsidies require more printing. Each fix pushes deeper into the spiral until social breakdown. Crime rises, corruption spreads, political instability grows, and often a strong man rises, promising to fix the chaos. This is the machine. It runs the same way, every time. Part 7, Rich vs. Poor. Here is the deepest truth most politicians will never say out loud. Inflation is not neutral. It is deeply unfair to poor people. A poor family keeps everything in cash. When inflation hits 30%, their food, rent, medicine bills all jump 30%. Their salary might rise 10%. They lose ground every single month. A rich family owns houses, stocks, gold, foreign currency. Their assets go up with inflation. Their debts become easier to pay with weaker money. They come through intact or even richer. Economists call this the Cantillon Effect. New money benefits those who receive it first. The government and connected businesses get fresh money at full value. By the time it reaches ordinary workers, it has already lost value. Imagine someone secretly adds water to the village milk. The person who dilutes it keeps extra milk. The people who buy it get weaker milk at the same price. That is what money printing does. It adds water to money. And the poorest people are the last to know. Part 8. What can you do? So what can ordinary people do? 1. Understand what is happening. Most people feel inflation but never understand its causes. Understanding gives you power. Whoa. Do not keep all your wealth in cash. People who survived Weimar Germany best converted savings into real goods, metals, land, foreign currency before the worst hit. 3. Build skills that adjust to inflation. A fixed salary in a weakening currency is dangerous. Skills that earn in stronger currencies give you protection. 4. Pay attention to your government. Is it spending more than it earns? Is debt growing faster than the economy? Is the currency falling year after year? These are early warning signs. 5. Demand accountability. Inflation is a policy choice. Governments choose to print. Governments choose to borrow beyond their means. Demanding honest accounting is not just financial, it is a civic duty. Conclusion. 5 stories, 5 nations, 1 pattern. The pattern always starts the same way. Spending beyond means. Borrowing beyond limits. Printing beyond control. Trust collapsing. And ordinary people, the ones who worked hard and trusted the system, paid the price. Ibn Khaldun wrote, 700 years ago, when rulers start consuming wealth instead of building it, the society begins to die from within, not from an outside enemy, from the corruption of its own foundation. Right now, many countries carry record debt, many currencies are weakening, the same pressures are present. On a global scale, the people who suffered most in every crisis were the ones who did not see it coming. Pay attention. Understand the system. Protect yourself where you can. Demand better governance. Because the silent war has no announcement, no peace treaty. It simply quietly walks into every home and takes what it finds. If this video helped you, subscribe. History has warned us. The question is whether we listen.